what's happening, guys, is that what new Spider-Man's costume will look like. This is Spider-Man news roundup. It's been a while, been a bit busy honestly, guys, so here's my roundup of all the recent news from the last week or so. The first one, of course, is coming from LatinoReview.com. This might be what the new Spider-Man's costume will look like. Just recently, Marvel's Dave over LatinoReview.com revealed a possible description for Marvel's new Spider-Man costume, and this is not what we really expected, honestly. If this is true, of course, take it with a grain of salt. Let's jump straight into it. According to Latino Review, the new Spider-Man costume is going to be red and black. Now this image right here isn't leaked, it's not an official concept artwork or anything. Latino Review just used this image as an example, which conveniently matches the description they heard just recently. This is a fan art from like long time ago, but the colors, we're talking about black and red, and possible some design details, is what Latino Review is reporting, which might be the new suit. Obviously, this costume description from Latino Review contradicts the official information which we got from Kevin Feige himself. He did say that we will get a classic Spider-Man suit, and black and red doesn't sound too classy for me. Last time I heard about using red and black for a movie was actually Alex Ross' Spider-Man's costume concept design for Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 1, but it was a long time ago, and ever since, every single Spider-Man costume except for the Amazing Spider-Man 1 was actually a classic Spider-Man costume. We are expecting red and blue, so what's up with Latino Review's description? Well, it's possible. Here's what might happen eventually. We do know that Tom Holland's Spider-Man will appear in Civil War, and we also heard that Tony Stark might give him an Iron Spider-Man costume. So let's say before he gets an Iron Spider-Man costume, during his brief introduction, he might wear something like that. It's possible. A homemade suit made by a teenager, then he gets an Iron Spider-Man costume, and then by the time of this Spider-Man solo film to be released in 2017, he will wear, that's right, according to Kevin Feige, a classic Spider-Man costume in his own film. So that's how it might work eventually, if this costume description for Latino Review is actually true. Of course, there's still plenty of time for Marvel to officially reveal the new costume. The filming of the Spider-Man solo film starts in June next year, so there's plenty of time. Maybe eventually we will get the official artwork. Another piece of news you guys might have missed during last week is that we've officially got the writers for this Spider-Man reboot. That's right, we had an actor, Tom Holland, we had the director, John Watts, now we're talking about writers. John Francis Daly and Jonathan M. Goldstein, writers for the recent comedy film Vacation, are officially on board to write the new Spider-Man film. Now, both of these guys are actually known to write great humor, so we are expecting some witty and funny dialogue from Peter Parker in his very first Spider-Man solo film. Here's what they say about it, quote, "We can finally acknowledge that this is the first time that we can say we are writing it. We've been saying no comment for the last week. He's a sharp kid and witty and kind of deals with the fact that he's an outcast and geek through humor. It is a sort of a safety net for the geeks like us, so I think we can totally relate to where he's coming from, as well as these superpowers, which we also have." Later they also added how the tone will be different from the previous Spider-Man films. Quote, "The tone will be really grounded, about a real kid who gets these powers and what that means with a geeky outcast kid and how he deals with them. You don't instantly become a superhero, it's a long journey. Peter Parker is spending a lot more time in high school, and so we have time to sort of develop the powers with him and experience the wish fulfillment. I don't think the origin story is gonna be in there, and also I think we're going to avoid the emo dance as much as I loved it." How funny the new Spider-Man will be, we will find out on July 28th, 2017. That's when the Marvel Spider-Man reboot opens up in theaters. Also, in an interview with USA Today, John Watts, the director of the new Spider-Man reboot, talked briefly about the upcoming film. Quote, "The thing that everyone keeps saying is that it's sort of like the John Hughes version of Spider-Man, which I think is really cool take on it. He's in high school, and the question that raises, I think we haven't explored as much as we can. In the comics, so much of it was about him juggling in his high school life and trying to be a superhero. I think there's a lot to do there. We're just getting started. It remains to be seen how we're going to do that, but Marvel is a very collaborative place, and it's Marvel and Sony, which is an interesting dynamic." Now, in between the official news, I wanted to talk about something you guys let me know just recently on Twitter and Facebook. Apparently there's this casting sheet which is kinda official, coming from reddit.com. Latino Review also posted this image in their article about the possible costume description. Now, I personally think this casting sheet is shit.
This is Bullshit.
I mean, there are spelling errors in it. They can't even spell properly the actors' names, so I don't think it's official. You guys can check it out in the description box. It's probably and most likely fake. As we are talking about leaked stuff, Russo brothers' unofficial Twitter account has been posting these images for quite a while now. Could this be a Spider-Man's lens? Could this be a part of the Spider-Man's costume's texture? We don't know, of course. These images are most likely as fake as the casting shit, but still pretty interesting, you know. Who knows where these images are actually coming from. I will be really surprised if this leaked stuff turns out to be true, but then again, Marvel hasn't removed any of the articles with these images, so they're most likely fake. Now, just as the new Spider-Man writers talked about emo dance from Spider-Man 3, it reminded me about the fact that Sam Raimi just recently spoke about the new Spider-Man reboot, as well as Mark Webb's The Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2. During an interview with MTV, once asked what he thinks about the Amazing Spider-Man movies, Sam Raimi replied, quote, "Oh yeah, I saw both of them, they were great. And as for the new upcoming Marvel Spider-Man films, I am really glad Marvel's taking it to high school. I think that's gonna be refreshing, and just like my favorite of the Spider-Man comic books, I have a lot of faith that they really know their stuff. I'd like to go into his high school life and his relationship with Gwen Stacy. I love Flash Thompson. The drama and the difficulty of going through high school is so unique to a superhero. That's what Spider-Man's all about. So that they're going to explore that is very exciting." And finally, to end up today's Spider-Man movie news roundup, Mark Webb finally opens up about Marvel's Spider-Man reboot. Now, he does say that he's really excited for the new ideas coming from both Marvel and Sony about Peter being in high school and stuff. And he also reveals that he's kinda a little bit sad that he wasn't really able to properly end his own franchise, and that they really wanted to explore the Man in the Shadows and the Sinister Six a lot more in the upcoming films. Now, obviously, as sad as it is, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 did end the way it did end, with Spider-Man facing Rhino. We will never find out what Man in the Shadows, the Gentleman, was actually preparing for Peter Parker, neither we will see Andrew Garfield fighting the Sinister Six. But that's how it is. We have to move on. We're really excited about Marvel and Spider-Man Sony reboot, and we should expect something great in the upcoming years. Thanks for watching. You can check out all these articles as well as video interviews in the description box. Let me know what you guys think. Stay tuned for another Spider-Man movie news roundup, and I'm off for now.